From Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up on the news, a recap of last night's election. We're going to take a closer look at who came out on top and a race that is still undecided.
Plus, after overseeing dozens of elections, a local official is retiring. But first,
we passed voter ID.
The voter ID initiative passes and will now move forward to the next step. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. The election results are in.
And Nebraskans have voted overwhelmingly to require a photo ID be presented at the polls when voting. Channel 8's Matthew Mittleider has more details in our top story tonight.
At the Nebraska GOP's post-election conference on Wednesday, one of the goals discussed was what's next for the voter ID initiative in the state. Todd Watson says there's a lot of talk around the country about election security, and the Nebraska Republican Party is not deaf to it.
We need to have the tough conversations. The citizens need to have confidence that their elections are secure. And a lot of our brothers and sisters in many other states of the union didn't come close to meeting their expectations last night and are frustrated. They do not trust the elections. That's just a fact.
Back in February, Nebraska's Secretary of State Bob Evnen rejected claims of voter fraud in the 2020 election and said not only are voter registration lists updated almost daily, Nebraska spent $7 million in 2019 to update its ballot counting system.
Everybody knows that voter ID is a form of voter suppression. It's sad to see that so many people feel that, we should have to show our IDs at the polls when our Secretary of State has stated that we have safe elections here in Nebraska.
When asked why voter ID would be needed, despite little to no evidence of widespread voter fraud, Watson said the issue is more about the many voters and Republicans questioning election integrity and wanting to restore their trust in the process. Watson says state senators are going to be meeting to work out what a voter ID will look like and how it will be implemented. Officials anticipate it won't require a new ID just for voting, but rather using an ID such as a driver's license. Opponents of voter ID say it's unnecessary and could prevent eligible voters from casting a ballot, particularly people of color, those with disabilities, and people in rural areas.
Because our IDs in Nebraska are not cheap. Our IDs can run you up to $30. So what is the state going to do now? What is Jim Killen going to do to help compensate so those people can get to the polls and still be able to vote? How does that work with vote by mail? How does all these things work? And I don't think that they sat down and thought about that when they brung this bill up.
Reporting in Lincoln, Matthew Mittleider, Channel 8 News.
Nebraska will now be added to the 35 other states who currently have some form of voter ID law. And Nebraska's officially nonpartisan legislature appears to have a heavy majority.
Channel 8's Veronica Barreto joins us live here in the studio with more on Nebraska's election results. Veronica.
Political experts in the state say even though Democrats did better than expected nationwide, it was not the case here in Nebraska. Republicans have claimed 33 of its 49 seats as of the latest vote count for the 2022 general election. The Nebraska GOP says the results shows a red wave did happen in the state. Experts say this result could potentially mean controversial bills that didn't get passed last legislative session have a much better chance the next time.
Abortion restrictions or things like concealed carry legislation, I think the probabilities of those sorts of things passing the legislature went up after yesterday's elections.
Experts are also saying big changes are coming to the very rules that guide the legislature. For example, it appears Republicans will have a filibuster-proof majority. And the Nebraska Democrat Party says that despite the results, they will continue to hold their firewall against the GOP in the legislature.
All right, Veronica Barreto, thank you for that report. The race for Lancaster County Attorney has yet to be called.
Incumbent Pat Condon ended the night with 2,000 more votes than Adam Moorfeld. However, there are still about 7,000 ballots that need to be counted, including early votes. Condon was appointed county attorney in 2018, and Moorfeld is a state senator.
Lancaster County Sheriff Terry Wagner will stay in office. He was re-elected last night. He had 54% of the vote. Challenger Jay Pitts, 43%. Wagner was first elected sheriff back in 1994 and has won re-election 7 times. For more local election news and results, head over to our website, klkntv.com. Already announced in early September, Lancaster County's election commissioner of 23 years, Dave Shively, is saying goodbye.
Channel 8's Daniel Kaiser spoke with him about his legacy after more than 2 decades of service.
Since his appointment in 1999, Shively says changes have happened over time, but assisting voters across the county was his #1 goal.
I hope it is that I've been known to be fair, respectful to candidates and voters, and conducted elections in an honest and with the utmost integrity.
Governor Ricketts reappointed him in the following years, Shively noting as time changed, so did his surroundings, election cycles, and voters' needs.
Over the years, too, as technology has changed, we have to adapt to that. As security issues have changed, we've had to adapt to that. And so we've made a number of changes over the years.
Never drafting poll workers, Shively pointed out during his last election day, is a feat he's proud of, one which he hopes never changes.
We've been very fortunate in Lancaster County that we've never had to draft board workers, or election day workers. We've always had plenty of people volunteer. We do have the ability to draft people, much as you do for jury duty, but we haven't had to do that. Maybe someday Lancaster will have to do that. I hope not.
Shively went on to say regarding his successor to be appointed next year by Governor-elect Jim Pillen, learning the process is key.
You need to learn the process first and then make the decisions on how you want to make changes within the office. Take time to learn first, and then don't be afraid to ask other people what they do, and ask those questions to other people and make sure that you understand that.
Reporting in Lincoln, Daniel Kaiser, Channel 8 News.
All right, it's official. Nebraska Senator Ben Sasse will be the next president of the University of Florida. The Board of Governors there approved the appointment today.
Sasse says he plans to resign from the U.S. House in January and will start his job at the university as president on February 6th. His contract is for 5 years with an annual base salary of $1 million, with annual raises built in based on performance.
All right, let's talk about your weather now with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins. Once again, some changes on the horizon, Rusty?
Yeah, after a very, very warm day today, record-setting warmth, in fact, for the capital city and Omaha, things will look very, very different tomorrow as a cold front rolls through. You can't really see anything happening here on the satellite and radar, but you look at the visibility and you can tell there's something happening in western Nebraska. This is on the other side of a cold front that's sweeping through, and a little light mist drizzle, freezing drizzle happening from about North Platte, Broken Bow, O'Neill west. For the rest of us, though, it's just quiet and very warm. But because of that light mixed precipitation, there is a winter weather advisory for north central and northwestern Nebraska. It does include areas like Valentine, O'Neill, just north of North Platte. But this is well toward north and west on the other side of that cold front. You can really see where that cold front is at. It's from Norfolk to just north of Grand Island, sweeping through Broken Bow and North Platte right now, as the wind speed is out of the south at 20 to 30 miles per hour. And we have wind gusts that are in excess of that as well. The Schoen's roofing cam in Beatrice showing a mixture of clouds and sun and very warm, 73 degrees in Beatrice, 73 in Hebron. We'll zoom out and show you that, yeah, there's the cold front. Not hard to find this one. Temperatures in the 70s for south central and eastern Nebraska, 20s and 30s for the other half of the state. So we are definitely going to see a change as we head through the day tomorrow. In fact, temperatures will hold steady, I think, in the middle and upper 40s. We'll just say 48 all day long, a lot colder and a lot windier than it was today. So things are changing right now, and we do even have just a small chance for severe weather. Talk about that in a few minutes.
Sounds good. Thank you, Rusty. And speaking of our weather, happening today, Lincoln is looking to find the next group of snow fighters. Those are part-time snowplow operators to keep our streets clean and safe this winter.
That's right. They're taking applications and interviewing tonight until 8 o'clock. It's taking place at the Municipal Services Center. That's off of West Bond Street. You'll need to bring your driver's license. The city recently announced it added 12 new Super Combo trucks to replace the old ones. A fender bender caused a 4-vehicle crash this afternoon in South Lincoln. Northbound 14th Street near Old Cheney is currently closed due to the multi-vehicle crash.
Lincoln police say 2 people were taken to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police are still investigating and tell us the road is expected to remain closed for a little bit longer, so be sure to stick with us for the very latest.
All right, some developing news now. A bad crash here in Lincoln this morning.
Take a look at the wreckage right next to a person's house. This happened at 41st and F Streets around 8 o'clock this morning. You can see the van was flipped upside down by the impact, landing on its top right on the lawn. Thankfully, though, no reports of serious injuries. The investigation continues. And a fiery crash that ended a brief but high-speed chase with Nebraska State Patrol.
They had reports the driver of a Grand Am was driving recklessly. Well, a pursuit started on Interstate 80 with speeds up to 110 miles per hour. The Pontiac ran into a road sign and then crashed into a ditch and started on fire. The driver from Lincoln was taken into custody and is now facing several charges. A brand new sports complex is coming to Lincoln in a couple of years.
It's called the Lincoln Youth Complex, bringing in more tournaments and tourism dollars. It's set to be built on the old Lincoln landfill turned into a park near First and Cornhusker. Here's what it's supposed to look like right here. 7 fields to host baseball and softball games. One of them will be the home of Nebraska Westland baseball. Another goal is to serve low-income kids in the city.
Especially the underprivileged kids, having free programs to get to learn how to play the games and be part of a team and give opportunities that they wouldn't have, and you never know where that could lead. Having a situation where kids don't have to travel all over the country to go to different facilities, and having one right here in Nebraska where kids are going to get to play on those fields, and not only that, but kids from outside of the state get to come here and see, what it's like to live in Lincoln, Nebraska.
The project costs lots of money, and while the complex is set to break ground in 2023 and then open in the fall of 24, the organization is still looking for money to be debt-free when it opens. If you'd like to donate, go to LincolnYouthComplex.com. Still to come on the news tonight, for the second straight election cycle, the hotly contested Georgia Senate race is heading into overtime.
And that's with the Senate majority potentially on the line. That story after the break. Now let's take a look at election results across the nation. After last night's election, the battle over whether Democrats or Republicans will control Congress is really still up in the air.
ABC's M. Wynn has the latest from Capitol Hill.
For the second straight election cycle, the hotly contested Georgia Senate race is heading into overtime with the Senate majority potentially on the line.
There will be a runoff. We can look at the outstanding vote totals, and neither one would be over 50%.
Now, Democratic incumbent Senator Raphael Warnock and Republican candidate Herschel Walker will face off again on December 6th.
Keep the faith and keep looking up. Just hang in there a little bit longer.
In the battleground state of Wisconsin, ABC News is projecting incumbent Republican Ron Johnson will defeat Democrat Mandela Barnes. But despite that and other losses, Democrats still defied history by not losing large numbers of congressional seats during the midterms, when their party controls the White House, House, and Senate. In Pennsylvania, Democrats clinched a victory with Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman beating his Republican challenger, Dr. Mehmet Oz. Oz, who is backed by former President Trump, conceding to Fetterman this morning.
Yeah, I think it was a really bad night for Donald Trump. I think Biden actually had a really bolstering night.
Sources telling ABC News former President Trump was fuming as the results came in, especially after his political rival, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, easily won re-election. At the White House, President Biden contacting Democrats who won and lost their races, tweeting out, "Democracy doesn't happen by accident. We have to defend, strengthen, and renew it."
At least 14 of Trump's hand-picked candidates are projected to lose their election bid, according to ABC's count. Analysts say it was a good night for President Biden and Democrats, despite Biden's approval ratings being underwater. M. Wynn, ABC News on Capitol Hill.
Now, your Storm Alert team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
Just a fascinating map to look at right here. The high temperatures for the day split right down the middle. 23 for a high in Chadron and 77. It's actually 78. These numbers will update as we get the final numbers come in. Speaking of elections, 77 though, 78 the record high now, 74, tack on one more for Omaha at 75. So two new record highs here, 75 in Nebraska City, Hebron, Grand Island, 63 in Broken Bow. Look at this difference, right? Well, look at this, 80 in McCook, 23 in Chadron. So it's, and this is why I love this state so much and the weather that it has, because it's so different. You don't even have to go very far for it to be so different. The Husker Cast added a couple of more sprinkles on and off throughout the day. This doesn't look like a big deal, but we could see a few raindrops or a few snowflakes. Notice the temperatures a little bit above the freezing mark, so I think more of a raindrop than a snowflake, but still we'll just call it mixed precipitation with a little bit of a northwest breeze at 5 to 15. Speaking of that breeze, goodness, Aurora, Penner Bathing Solutions cam picking up on a lot of wind, and that's eventually going to die down as soon as the cold front sweeps through, but it hasn't yet. It's still 71 in Aurora, 72 in York, 72 Friend, 74 in Lincoln, but you don't have to go too far. It was trying to nudge down just a little bit. Columbus dropped a little bit earlier. Now it's back up to 73 degrees, so that cold front remains off to the north and west. It's eventually going to make its way east, but you can just slice right down the middle from northeast to southwest. One side of the state much warmer, the other side much colder. So satellite radar not showing much. You see a blip here every now and then. This is actually across a good portion of north central and western Nebraska. Look at this, 0 miles worth of visibility in O'Neill, less than a mile in Broken Bow, 1 mile in Valentine. Little light drizzle, light freezing drizzle in some spots too. So the visibility really painting a picture that the satellite can't pick up on. And because of that, winter weather advisory for a good portion of north central and northwestern Nebraska. So there's a cold front that slices through. Right there, might see some storms around 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Some of those could be on the strong side. They roll through the Lincoln and Omaha area around 6 or 7 in the morning, and then that's it. Cold air settles in and makes itself at home. But before that, there's a marginal risk with that line of storms very early tomorrow morning. What a weird forecast. Look at this. This is your temperatures. Look how fast those temperatures drop. Then as we head towards Thursday afternoon, I'm just going to put this in motion and watch the cold air. It's just like the door is opening up and cold air is just streaming in. as we head through the next several days. South wind at 15 to 35 miles per hour tonight. Temperatures much colder to the west. We'll still hang on to some warmer temperatures in eastern Nebraska, but we start to cool down in Lincoln. I think we'll drop to around 45 by early tomorrow morning. That chance for some storms very, very late into early tomorrow morning, and then high temperatures just kind of hang out in the 40s all day. Storms early and then mostly cloudy skies, and we'll say 48, but really the high temperature is likely going to be at midnight. And then looking at all of these 30s to around 40 degrees, they just, once that cold front rolls through, that's it. 35 on Friday, 34 on Saturday. A little mixed precipitation showing up on some of the models on Monday. It would be very early Monday morning, something we'll keep an eye on, so another snow chance on Monday. But overall, much colder temperatures. Look at all those teens for lows over the next 10 days.
You know, Rusty, that map that shows the temperature differences across the state because of that front, that just amazes me.
It's so much fun to look at. I've been looking at it all day. It's just crazy.
All right, thank you very much, Rusty. Now for a look at Wall Street, a negative day today. The Dow falling 641 points. NASDAQ is also down 263. S&P also losing 80 points. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's trusted news source.
Finally tonight, the fascinating discovery of an ancient comb reveals not only the earliest known sentence text, but an age-old frustration with head lice.
Jeremy Roth has the bizarre story, and tonight's Take a Look at This.
A fascinating dug-up discovery made in Israel has revealed the earliest known sentence ever written in an alphabet, and that sentence is, May this tusk root out the lice of the hair and the beard. Yep, a recent archaeological study revealed a 3,700-year-old ancient comb was found at a dig site in Lachish, Israel, inscribed with the early language of Canaanite. Experts say fragments of this language have been found on other discoveries, but the ancient comb discovery and its translated prayer for clean hair is being called unprecedented, not only for being the first full alphabet-based sentence, but also for being a personal sentiment described as, quote, something very human. Archaeologists combing through Italian ruins are also fawning over a recent discovery of 24 beautifully preserved bronze statues dating back to ancient Roman times. The discovery was made in thermal baths in a hilltop town in Tuscany. A top culture ministry official is calling the remarkably well-preserved statues one of the most significant finds in the history of the ancient Mediterranean.
Happy birthday.
Finally, watch an Iowa birthday girl make history of her own by officially becoming the oldest person in the United States. That's according to the Gerontology Research Group, which says not only is Bessie Hendricks America's oldest living citizen at the age of 115, she's the fourth oldest person living in the world. But it's her family, her children say, that is Bessie's greatest achievement.
She's always caring about her family. Family came first to Mom, always.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
What a milestone.
115.
Yeah. All right, Rusty, can we get one final check?
We had record highs today, and tomorrow it will be a distant memory. Look at this. We have temperatures in the 40s for a good portion of the day on Thursday, then 30s for a couple of days on Friday and Saturday. Overnight low temperatures in the teens. So we go from almost 80 today to 30s in a couple of days.
All right. Thank you, Rusty, and thank you for joining us.
World News Tonight is up next. See you at 6.
With the Channel 8 News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
Extreme sports. And now, Amigo.